Hi, hello, and good evening. It is Monday, October 25th. This is Jury Duty, and we are discussing Big Brother Over the Top, Episode 3, and the Challenge 37, Episode 11. Oh, we've got Tommy Figueroa back from Queers and Soaps. So, we got a lot to do tonight, so let's just get into it. This is Jury Duty, a Big Brother Survivor Challenge podcast. Okay, so first, hi, Tommy. Welcome back.
Hi.
Tommy!
I like the new opening.
Thanks.
Yeah.
It's actually not new. You just haven't watched. We've been doing that for a little while for our bonus stuff. Okay, so you tried it.
I just spoiled up on Survivor, okay? I'm trying not to get spoiled.
It's true. We got a lot going on. We have a lot going on. Okay, so Big Brother Over the Top. Where do we start with this one? Lots of stuff going on. Lots of stuff going on. I guess first, we're seeing Scott teaming up with the girls.
Yep.
What do we think about this? Yay, nay.
It's gonna be a nay from me.
On what front now? On what front?
I feel like it's a stupid reason. I feel like the whole reason that I hate that he's working with them is like straight up in the first episode when we saw Morgan like, I'm a cheerleader and I would never hang out with him in like real life. And
He's
like,
not
just so
actually one of
nasty
the
with
types
him.
of people that I would hang out
Right.
with.
Right, so I was like, why is this the person you're aligning? Like, I hate that he's aligning with that side of the house. Granted, he doesn't know that, but it's still like
No, but it's not a stupid reason because like she's gross. So like,
Yeah.
no, I get it.
I just
And
don't
I,
like them.
yeah.
All of them.
Yep. But you're totally right, too, because I think it was actually Morgan in this third episode that said, like, well, you know, with Monty being gone, it's good we have Scott in our back pocket. So, of course, like, as soon as he wins the HOH, they're all over it. Like, oh, my God,
All
thank
over
God.
All over it.
The ball crushers.
Ball smashers.
Smashers.
Ball smashers.
I've been really looking forward to getting to this point, too.
I know. I
you
was
have,
really,
Kyle.
really excited that we were finally here.
Yeah.
So John jumped. Yes, Scott he wins out of the household.
Oh, I'm sorry. I jumped.
Yeah, it's fine. Whatever. I mean, it really was the next place to go anyway. Yeah. So Scott won. Obviously, the girls are like all over him. It's just like really annoying. And this is really where like my distaste for Alex really starts to shine through. Because I just the way she handled the whole thing, like she's so obvious, and like her fake is just so damn plastic that like it's painful. So that was it for me.
It's my first time watching, so I am unspoiled.
Thank you for mentioning that, by the way, because John is a
know.
serial spoiler.
That is why I mentioned it.
I know.
Never living this down.
Thank God, because what a disaster.
That must be nice, Tommy, to not be spoiled. Wow, what a treat.
I'm sure it is. And he lives with me, and he's still not spoiled. How's that?
I have ruined my stuff for myself with other seasons on Wikipedia by accident. It stinks. But what are you going to do? Anyway, I just feel like it's very awkward and like tense for me to watch because the house is so visibly divided and they're not even trying to hide the fact that they don't like each other.
Yeah.
And it's very uncomfortable for me, but also I can't stop watching. And Kyle's like, this is nothing. So I'm like, am I gonna make it through season 15 when I get to it?
Right.
Oh,
and
I've
and that's the
horror
thing.
stories about that one.
Yeah,
I'm
because
scared to
he's
watch
talking
that
about
one
how
too.
uncomfortable this is, and I'm like, this ain't nothing. This is
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah, no, I'm scared of that season too.
Yeah.
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 And like, you know, I do feel like though it's very cut and dry in this season. I think Jason even said it. He's like, it's pretty clear. Like this is probably the most divided a house has ever been. Like where like everybody just so vocally talks about it too. Because like even in other seasons where we've had two sides of the house, you always have at least a couple of people that are floating, and you know maybe their vote can go this way one week, or maybe it'll go this way the next week. But like it's very clear where everybody's loyalty is in this particular season on Over the Top, and nobody like plays around with it. Nobody tries to dance around anything. You're not on my side. That's it's very cut and dry. So
well, I initially had said to Kyle, I think in the first or second episode, I don't like any of these people. But after this episode, I have a handful of people that I like. I like Neely.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to like Jason, but I do. And I like Chrissy, and Kyle doesn't, and I'm always like, leave Chrissy alone.
I don't like Chrissy.
Yeah.
I like Chrissy as a TV person. Like, I like her in the show, like, for what she does, and that she's an agitator, and like she definitely is getting that edit. I'd be curious to have seen like what she looked like on the actual season, since it's definitely like played two feeders. I'd have been curious to see like what it looked like then. I just feel like we're getting the most annoying bits of her on purpose.
Were there feeds for this?
The whole thing was feeds.
Yeah, no cutting out at all.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Really?
Yeah, this season
they
presented
just like
totally
clipped together
differently.
an hour-and-a-half episode, but everything was 24/7 feeds.
Wow.
Yeah, you had a daily schedule of things that you can tune into on the feeds, like to watch, which is why like Julie had such a decreased presence. This thing was exclusively for what was CBS All Access at the time. Yeah.
Oh,
so definitely presented way different.
I even like seeing that, like, because you could tell, like, whenever we have a regular season, because we've talked about the production on this season as opposed to like a real season where they've got the full crew in there, and even like the little examples of like the person reading, this is how this competition works, but you always see someone else like demonstrating it. You could tell that it was Alex doing the demonstration that she was reading, based on like the clothing the person was wearing, and like it's just very funny to me.
Is it me going back to the HOH competition? Are the competitions this season harder? I feel like they're just like very difficult. Like the whole measuring with the chain link.
I think it's just, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Like, I feel like because everything was on feeds, they had to just gear competitions towards like what's going to be more easily streamable, rather than like the kind of competitions that we're used to. So it's just, I assume that's why they're different.
Yeah, I assume that too. I assume it's because like you're not going to get all these moments, all these fantastic close-ups and all these other moments that we would get, like to see some of the detail necessary to make a competition
like people like doing competitions like one at a time and like that kind of vibe. Yeah,
I mean,
it kind of has to be something you would just have on in the background. I guess.
Aside from this week's veto competition, I feel like the previous competitions this season have been very time-consuming. Like, if we were watching this on a feed forever to get to the winner.
Yeah.
And I wonder if some of that is on purpose, because they know that like these feeds are up 24/7, no breaks. So like these feeders need something to watch. So who cares if it's a 4-hour competition? Like,
yeah, I think that was probably part of the point, was to have these longer, like everything can't be endurance. So how can we make these like lengthy competitions?
Right, because we've watched 2-hour, 3-hour endurance comps on feeds. Like, it's not like people were like, no, speed it up. Like, I want to know. No, we're gonna sit there and watch it.
Yeah, we're in for the long haul.
Especially with, I'm sure there was so much in a 24/7 feed that like nobody cared about seeing. I remember, I think the first America's Care Package, one of the house guests was like, something to do, like, and like, just imagine if they're in the house saying that. Imagine being someone that's trying to watch the feeds like all day, every day.
Do something.
Right. Well, I'm glad you mentioned America's Care Package, because Scott won it. All right, so the care package this time was what? Pick a veto. You got to pick from 3 different things. The Diamond Power Veto, which obviously the veto holder gets to remove themselves and name the replacement nom. There's that double veto thing where they get 2 people winning the veto, which is what we actually ended up having. And what was the other thing?
It was the boomerang. So the veto holder could use the veto twice in that ceremony. So like if I won veto, I could take down both nominees if I wanted to.
Or does that mean you could also take down the replacement then also?
I have to assume it does. I've never seen anything like that, so I don't really know what the rules were.
Right. It sounded like you could do like any time in the ceremony. So I wonder if it was like because that makes it interesting to me too. Then
I've seen the Diamond veto on the regular series. Has the other vetoes ever popped up on there?
There was a double veto this year. on 23.
Oh, that's right. Two people. There was 2 people got.
Oh yeah, there was.
Yeah.
But the boomerang, was that called?
Not that I've ever seen, but
I've never
seen a lot
seen
of
that,
them.
and I don't know, for some reason I don't really like that idea. I just think that's silliness. I like the diamond. The diamond I wish we saw more.
Yeah, me too.
The diamond I think is very fun. I think the diamond is fun. I wanted to get your insight on this whole care package. Okay, so that other side of the house is all up in arms about the fact that it was given to Scott, but I'd like to present the argument that this was not for Scott's benefit or for the benefit of that side of the house. I feel like it was given to him to give the other side of the house more power should they win the veto.
I agree, actually. And that
I didn't think about that until I think it was Neely said it, and I was like, wait. Okay, like
It's possible, although that could be debunked by the fact that America did.
Yeah.
That
Miss Danielle
surprised me.
I was surprised by that too.
And it was. I don't want to go out of order here, but I'm not really giving anything away, I guess. I mean, we saw where America's vote went, so it was clear what they wanted out of this.
Right.
But I had the same kind of thought as you, Kyle, because when Scott got the HOH and then got that care package, I remembered that we had heard that America gets to pick which care package they get also, and that it almost felt like a direct counter to Scott winning. Was like, okay, yeah, but now you're gonna have multiple people possibly getting vetoes on your HOH week, your HOH week.
Yeah.
As far as Danielle being America's pick, again, unspoiled, but now I just feel like because America didn't get her out, they're gonna constantly keep coming for her every week until she's gone. Unless
I suppose that's possible.
Go off.
Yeah.
And we just have to leave that there.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately, I do know. So, yeah, I have to leave that one alone.
I really wasn't expecting her to be the pick. That really threw me off.
Yeah. I was like, are they just sick of her crying? Like, what's happening?
I am.
See, I don't know. I like her. I guess that's a hot take.
I don't dislike her. I just the crying and her voice does annoy me. It doesn't annoy me as much as Whitney's, but it's the and put this down, and it's what I'm doing today. And it's like, I don't know, like, what is that accent? Yeah, like it's that thing that just really irritates me. But otherwise, I mean, she's fine. She's a nice girl. She's a nice girl. She's very pretty. She's not offensive.
I guess I just feel like in a season where there are so many villains, it's like, is America really going to put their nominee up as someone that just annoys them over all these people that are actually awful?
Right.
I mean, me watching, I was like, oh, it's for sure going to be Alex. I was like, what do you mean, Danielle?
Yeah. No, I was definitely surprised by that.
And then I was convinced America wanted Scott, but then he won HOH.
Yeah.
And America may have.
Yeah.
But it got bungled.
A runner-up. If America's Choice wins HOH, you have to go with the second choice.
I guess I don't know when the voting took place. If it was after the HOH was decided, or if it was,
I feel like it. I don't know.
It would have.
I imagine it being a 24-hour turnaround on everything. I don't know why I decided that's what the time frame is, but that's what I decided the time frame is.
So Scott decides to select the double power veto, and then we see Alex and Justin win that.
That was so frustrating. Top to bottom, everything about this veto was frustrating.
Now tell us why. Tell me more.
I mean,
what frustrated you?
For starters, they did get into it too of Justin's a part of this Jamboree Alliance, and he basically sealed the fate of the he single-handedly caused Alex to win the other veto.
Yes,
and then also took the second veto from Danielle, and it's I don't know why you're playing against your side of the house right now. Like I just
It
don't
almost
see...
felt like Meta World Peace was playing.
Well, that's what, I'm like, and like that's my thing. I'm like, I can't tell if you're stupid or if you're...
I actually understood why Justin did what he did. To be honest, I think I don't necessarily think that he really knew exactly what he was doing.
I don't know if you're being dumb or if you're like, because then he like we'll get to the veto ceremony.
But no, you know what though? He actually
then too.
Now that I'm thinking back to it, I think he did kind of explain himself, because he said, listen, I'm watching these people go up there and Alex is smoking everybody. If one of those people comes down, there's a real chance I'm going up. So I'm going to do what I have to ensure to make sure that I win the veto, which means I can't be a nominee.
And that's what he said. Like, honestly, listen, when I saw this the first 2 times, I thought that what Justin did here was not the right thing. But now, as seasoned BB, jurors, I don't know now, because again, a house that was that clearly divided from the very, very beginning, the options for a replacement nom are so limited, and in a situation where there are 2 vetoes in play, and I'm on the wrong side of the house.
No, I do get that.
I don't know, sorry, fuck you. I need one. I need one. It's my win.
I do think he screwed up the ceremony a little bit, though.
Like, what, I just don't, for Justin.
I don't remember why.
So, I mean, in my opinion, at this point, someone on your side of the house is leaving no matter what. Alex went first, did not use her veto. If you take down Danielle, there is no renom.
Yes, because it was
so,
American.
I don't know. I was like, why would you take down Chrissy rather than it just didn't really add up to me. I don't know why he assumed that the house was actually going to do what they said and vote out Danielle like they told them they were going to, and they clearly weren't. Like, there's a lot of it that I was like, I don't know.
Well, he took down Chrissy because if he didn't want to leave. He likes Chrissy.
Yeah, he likes Chrissy. I think
he was clearly choosing Chrissy over.
Yeah.
But at the risk of losing, I don't know. Like, I think he did that with the intention of like, oh, well, they're obviously voting Danielle out, not realizing everyone was lying to him. Like, is it worth losing out on the person who ended up going home?
Well,
I don't know. I think it was a stupid move.
I think it made sense to him, though, because he was all about getting Danielle out. He was like, I want Danielle out. I want Danielle out. So, like, he kind of did, he thought he was doing what he had to do. And if the other side of the house was being honest, Danielle would have been out,
Yeah. They just wanted one member of that duo out. It didn't matter who. But this week's target was Shane. That's his name, right, Shane?
Yeah, it was Shane. Because nobody said anything. No, because I'm just thinking.
I know, that's the thing, too. Because I keep thinking also, because I feel like I keep thinking of like certain things, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm pretty sure that this is the right thing. And then I remember something else, and I'm like, oh, maybe it's not the best thing.
I was like, am I clouded because I just didn't want Shane to go home? Like,
no, and I'm not sure that it was necessarily the right decision, but I understood why he made it like when he did.
Right. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, and I think the last time I watched this, Kyle, I agree with you. I was totally like, what is Justin doing? But this time I watched it and I was like, you know what? I get it. I'm cool with it.
Yeah. No, whoops. No, I understood. I understood it this time because I don't know. It just looked like a riskier situation. Like,
maybe
to not
the
have
secret is
one.
I have to watch it twice.
I mean, I don't know. Well, I think some other things will become a little bit more clear as the game goes on.
True.
Yeah,
it's true.
And maybe we can revisit this decision later on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Was that it for that?
I mean, we literally just breezed straight to eviction without going through any of the nominations or anything. So, like, we skipped everything that happened.
I guess we did. I bet that's why I'm like, this feels very strange. Like, we're not done.
Who
was
ceremony? I'm not a fan of this safety ceremony. I want my nomination wheel.
Kyle's happy to hear that.
It's just very drawn out.
It's very drawn out and it's very tacky. However, I do stand by when I had said that I do like when we get a little bit later and like certain pendants are not lighting up when people think they should have. Like I do find that fun. But it takes a long time to get to that.
Yeah, right now I feel like we're still at the point where like all of the decisions are very obvious. So it's like, ooh, I'm safe. Who knew?
Right.
You know?
And honestly, the lighting of this thing may not pan out to be as exciting as I remember it. Okay, so that may not age well.
Yeah.
Kyle, just hot take after hot take.
Listen, and I still have not seen anything that really bothers me yet about Shelby.
It's early. It's early.
It is still early, but I just figure we got to do a Shelby check-in with every one of these, and she's still not bothering me.
So, can I say what I said to you, Kyle, earlier?
Sure, you can.
Okay. So
we have another 9 minutes.
My issue with Shelby, besides now that I like Jason having beef with her, is because I feel like the house is so divided that side of the house, to me, at this point, kind of comes off as racist. I'm getting like a racist vibe from that side of the house.
Yeah, we did kind of touch on this, right? In one of our
we did.
Yeah.
We did.
When Monty was in the house,
this came up when Monty was in the house,
and that whole thing with Justin. I'm not going to say that these girls are not.
And just the optics, that it's all these blonde, well, there's 2 blonde and they're all white.
Yeah.
And I know it's kind of stereotyping to be like they're all Southern, but
yeah. They're very judgmental, like we were talking about before, with Morgan's comments about Scott, and
it's just very like the popular mean girls in school, and like you know.
Right. And then the other side of the house is very mixed and
it's like the others,
so to speak.
Yeah,
that's what it feels like. It very much feels that way. Yes,
it does feel like a very like high school cliquey sort of house.
Yeah,
it does.
Yes, and it is very icky in that way.
Yeah.
And that's why it's uncomfortable for me, because I just feel like they're not even hiding the fact that they don't like each other.
Right.
Yeah.
No, they're not. And I will say that does not change.
Like even in this episode, we saw like Neely freaking out. Like she got like super angry about like something that Shelby, like the way that Shelby was acting.
Right. Well, I was just going to say too, because this is something that we used to get in past seasons that we didn't get on BB23 because of some of the alterations to the house. But there was specifically something where Neely actually said, "Those girls not realize there's bathrooms in that, there's mirrors in that bathroom. I can see you dancing in there and doing this and doing that." So that's something that we don't get on the show as of BB23. Those little moments where you can still hear or see what's going on in the bathroom. Well, now there's a door there, you know.
Now there's a door.
All right.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, there is also, you know, the point that most of the people on BB23 are just good people. But neither here nor there.
Right. That is also the difference. This was during a time that weird new school era of Big Brother, where like things were like not so great.
Dicey, yeah.
Yeah. So there's that. That's some of this. That's some of this for sure.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that vibe goes away and it changes, because I don't want to think of them as racist, but that's just the vibe that I'm getting now at this point.
Well, like I had said to you before, you know, non-spoiler, there are some things that happen that do encourage you, just encourage you.
Okay.
Other people work with other people, and it starts to feel, you know, you don't feel as bad.
Okay.
That's all.
Yeah.
That's all. You don't feel great.
You don't, you know.
You never feel great.
Mediocre.
Yeah. You never feel great, but there are moments where things don't feel quite as cut and dry.
They don't feel terrible
as they are right now. Like
okay. So I will reiterate that my love for this season does not come from these people. It comes from the way the game is played. Like, I like the 3 nominees. I like America's involvement. I like the care package. I'm liking everything. I still like everything about that. I think the gameplay is cool. And I liked that it followed up a Big Brother season, like a normal Big Brother season. I think it's cool that we see Thanksgiving in the house. That's not something we ever get to see, like we've ever seen before. Like there are just things about that I thought were really, really cool. It has nothing to do with the people. And again, my love, and I use air quotes for our audio only friends, my love for Shelby really only comes from just some fun DRs. Okay, like that is it. All right. I just remember laughing at her. And that was it. I feel like there was another like thing that I wanted to talk about with this though.
Well, definitely. I mean, Shane's pre-eviction speech was
oh yeah.
That was something, wasn't it?
He was not thrilled.
No, he was not thrilled.
It was so interesting too, because again, I feel like in any other season, it's like, oh no, why are you doing that? But like this season is so divided that he straight up named everybody in his alliance and like, these are the only people I like. And it's like, why are you outing it? But like, he's not outing it. They're very clearly two sides of the house.
Yeah, it's so very obvious.
Didn't he say, I'm not going to hug you when I leave?
Yeah, he was like, I'm not fake, so I'm not hugging you when I leave.
I love it. So sorry to see Shane go.
And then like, for whatever reason, Scott was like, backing up. He was like, oh yeah, well that's how Monty felt too. Sorry about it. Like some like weird comment about like you betrayed Monty. Like who no one likes Monty. Who cares about Monty? Nobody
likes Monty, but this is his moment. You know, this is what somebody like Scott has always been waiting for the pretty girls to rally around him, not realizing that he's being used completely. You know, this is his big macho man moment to now actually stand aside this more jockey thing, you know, like the whole thing is just so cringy and like for so many different reasons. Yeah, it's just it's sad and cringy and yeah.
So now they've basically gotten the two visibly physical threats out of the house. So who do we think is the next best physical threat in the house?
The next best physical threat.
Alex.
I would say like Alex, Justin. I wouldn't count Morgan out.
Yeah, Morgan's an athlete. Morgan is an athlete.
Like she's like a fitness instructor. Like that's like what she does. Like so I certainly wouldn't count her out.
I think Neely could perform pretty well too in some of this stuff.
I don't think we should really ever be expecting much from Shelby, and she's told us as much with her little wrists.
Yeah, her baby wrists.
Yeah. Who else am I not worried about? Chrissy. I think Jason's a decent threat, depending on like what's going on.
Not super worried about like someone like Whitney. You know, like
not super concerned.
She could pull something out at some point, but like I wouldn't consider her like a top competitive threat.
I feel like poor Whitney's just kind of there.
Yeah,
she's there.
She's along for the ride.
She's having a good time. Just happy to be included.
her like the most memorable thing from Whitney so far in this season was when she was like, you know, Danielle stuck her tongue out at Monty, and I didn't like that.
I didn't really like that. Yeah, it's really just very bad sportsmanship.
Like, you're in an alliance called the Ball Smashers.
Yes.
Danielle did kind of step it up during that golf competition.
She was good, yeah.
Yeah, slow and steady wins the race. Nice strategy.
She was doing well with the puzzles until she went against Alex.
Yeah, Alex really like beasted that.
Yeah.
Miss Alex Willett.
Wait, no, she didn't go against Alex, did she?
No, she did.
She did.
I think. Wait. No, I'm a liar.
I wrote down the matchups.
Because Justin beat her.
Round 1, Alex beats Chrissy. Round 2, Danielle beats Scott. Round 3, Alex beats Neely. Round 4, Justin beats Danielle. So Justin and Alex were the last two standing.
Yeah.
And there it is.
I'm also just like, again, like back to what we were like just saying. I was so annoyed that like Scott got the opportunity to like be the tiebreaker and be the one that sent Shane packing. I was like, don't give him this.
He really thought that was his big
Please
moment.
don't give him this.
When that whole scheme was being formed of them being like, oh, let's tell them we're voting this way, but then we'll actually all vote this way, and they'll be surprised, and Danielle will feel alone. I bet Scott was probably so happy that means that I might be the tiebreaker. Like that was like he probably right then was building it in his head.
He was so excited.
Well, you could see in his face. He was like, "This is my main character moment." You know?
Yeah.
And next week certainly won't be since he can't win. So
yeah,
You're right.
He can't win and he can't get a care package.
Right. So and the care package, I still say, wasn't really for him. I think that really was not in his benefit. In all cases, it took power away from him. I don't know why everybody saw that like it was a good thing.
That's really interesting too. Like when we go back to what we were saying a couple of episodes ago, because Chrissy's wasn't really for her either, and I think that that's why you need to have a really good read on the house and what's happening. And like, if you just look at everything at face value, you don't know what America wants, because it looks like America is giving powers to people that they like. But they're giving powers to people they don't like that's going to benefit the people they do like. So your reads have to be really solid on like the structure of the house.
I think if you are the HOH, like there, you don't want anything to screw up anything. Anything to do with a veto power when you are the HOH is an immediate red flag. You know, like I don't want anyone messing with this veto while I'm in power. Like, get out of here. So, and the fact that like, okay, now he can't have power. Like, if America was really trying to help him, now they would send it to him because he can't be in power. So let's give you something to help you out, Scott. Like, they burned his care package when he already had power. So now it's like you're out in the wind. You know?
Yeah.
I wonder if, and maybe you guys know this better than I would, is it just like, this is this week's care package, like who's going to get it, and then whoever gets it? Or is it like, these are all of the care packages we're going to have this season. This is what we're doing right now. So you could plan around like, all right, well, I don't want this person to have that power, so I'll give them this. Like, is it just like, this is what this week is? And then
I think there was something mentioned about this, that you could like vote on who gets what package and stuff like that. Wasn't there something that mentioned about this? I don't know if it was last week or...
Yes, I believe there was. It's my understanding that it was, this is the care package that's being given this week, and now you're choosing who of what's left, like who will get it.
Oh, right.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought.
Do you know what the other care packages are going to have down the road, or you only know what's being given out this week?
I think they knew what they were going to be.
That's what I think too.
All of them?
I think so.
I feel like I remember.
I don't actually know because I never really thought about it that far.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like when Chrissy got like Save a Friend, did they also know that one day there would be, you could choose a veto, and they chose Chrissy needs to have the Save a Friend one as opposed to one of the other ones? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I feel like for some reason they knew what they were. I feel like I remember hearing that somewhere.
Yeah, for some reason I thought they knew what the list was. Because it was something about like knowing, like, choosing who would get what.
Right.
And like, yeah, they made it sound like it was like a list, but like each week it was, I think the show like decided what it was going to be, and they voted based. That's my understanding. We should look into that and see if we can get a real answer. If anybody out there knows the official answer,
I'm just curious if like America was really calculated of like, all right, well, we can't let this person get the double veto one, so like just make sure to give that to somebody else, and then like this person will get this one. You know what I mean? And
if it really was that's exactly why we need to have this again. And if it wasn't that, then it just should be. And
do they post past season feeds up, or is that just too much content?
I don't know.
We discussed this last week.
Yeah,
because within a season, you can go back to any like timestamp and watch stuff, but I don't know if that also works for previous seasons.
Yeah, I never looked. But I didn't even know until 23 that you can go back on feeds at all. So all that is news to me.
That's interesting. So if this played out all on the feeds, at one point did it become edited down?
I think at once a week they just put out a condensed version of everything that happened that week.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I guess.
That's what makes sense to me. I don't know.
Yeah, it makes sense to me too.
Because you wouldn't get the DRs in the live feeds too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Has to be that. So it's not even like we can't even really do predictions for what we think is going to be happening next week, because 50%
like of the podcast knows.
Well, no, but it's also because like I actually don't know. I don't know where everybody like leaves. I don't know until it starts to happen, and it's like, oh, okay, now I remember this week.
Right.
So I don't actually know how next week goes, but like just knowing that the house is so it's clearly divided. Like It's pretty clear what's going to happen,
Yeah.
except for the care packages, and then we don't know what those are. So what is there to speculate?
And we also, unlike in other parts of a regular Big Brother season when we're watching live, like, we might know who the HOH is at the end of an episode, but not know what else is going to happen. Like, we have to take this 1 week at a time. So we have really nothing to go off of other than just that Scott can't win, right? So it's going to be someone other than Scott.
Yeah.
I think that America is going to vote for Scott to be the nominee, the third nominee next week, because they're going to be pissed about Shane.
Okay.
But they nominated Danielle, though, which by proxy hurts Shane's game.
Yeah, they nominated Danielle and they voted. Oh no, they voted for Danielle.
They voted for Danielle.
They voted for Danielle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember what they did with that. I think I do. I think I remember what the next week.
And that, like, I'm surprised too, because Kyle had words for me, like, was very shocked to see my Instagram story when I said that my favorite person went home this week, and he was like, "Why is Shane your favorite person?" But like, I feel like we've only seen 3 episodes up until this point. Like, my opinion has been very in line with what America's opinion is. So to see Danielle go up on the block in this episode, I was like, wait a minute, because I would assume that because one of my favorite people in the house was Shane, that one of America's favorite people in the house was also Shane. So why you would put up his closest ally didn't, like, I was trying to make heads or tails of it. Like, am I very wrong? Like, what's happened? Like, am I just not perceiving this correctly?
Yeah, in my head, I thought America was going to either put Scott or Alex up.
I was certain it would be
Danielle.
Alex.
I was like, what?
I just don't see why you have such strong feelings for Shane. I mean, I don't have any against him.
Like I said when I responded to your message, I like 2 people in this house. It was Shane or it was Jason. So here we are.
Yeah, I guess
there's too many people whose names are the same. I'm at Jason, Justin, can't do it. Even like Shelby and what's her name on Survivor, Sydney. I screw that up all the time. 2 different shows, I screw it up.
Oh, when Kyle talks about Justin or Jason, I'm like, I get them confused, and I'm like, oh, that's what you're talking about.
No, I screw it up every time. It's very annoying.
I'm very sorry. I mean, I don't know. I just feel like there's other people with larger personalities, like a Neely, or something like that.
Neely's up there. Neely's up there.
Yeah, it's just like Shane. I just feel like I don't see anything of his personality outside of his relationship with Danielle, which I don't know why.
Shane and Jason were my 2, followed very closely by Neely and Danielle.
Like, okay, fair enough. Just feel like Shane is kind of personality-less.
Maybe I'm being swayed because he has very pretty eyeballs. I don't know.
I mean, he's a very pretty man. I mean, I didn't want to see him go, but it just didn't make me upset.
Fine.
But whatever. All right, well, I'm ready for the challenge.
Oh yeah!
All right.
Woo-hoo.
Well, that's my cue to go then.
Yeah, Tommy doesn't really care about the challenge. Maybe we'll make him watch All Stars again, though.
Yes.
Be down for All Stars.
Yeah. Yeah, we have to say. But thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me again.
Yeah.
Always good to see you.
And I will be back. I promise.
Yes, please.
All right. Good night, guys.
Bye, Tommy.
See, I tried again with this music thing, and it's just not good. It's not.
I was very surprised. It caught me very off guard. I was like, what are we doing
I don't
now?
like it. I thought it would be like a fun way to like segue into the next thing, but
I've been
I've
been bopping along when it comes on.
I
guess that's not a shared opinion.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that might be the last time for that. All right, so Notebook's out. The challenge. Lots happened in this one.
Really?
Lots
I
happened
know.
in this one,
Oh,
okay.
man.
So let's see here. This Emerald team, like, they're just like so cocky, and like, for what? Like, not much has happened.
They've won both of the 2
Okay, no, wait, hold on.
challenges.
Well, all right. Well, I was starting with my notes like in order, and
I'm so sorry.
they hadn't won the second time.
Okay, fine.
Okay, so when
Take it back.
Yeah, they hadn't done that yet. So at that point, it's just like, they're just talking about how awesome they are, and it's like, I don't know why we're crapping on Sapphire.
Challenge.
Yes, like, why are we crapping on Sapphire? Okay, we've got Ashley, CT, Amanda,
Yeah.
come on now. And I guess my note actually ended up some redemption for this note, right? Some redemption once we got to the end. My next note was really actually like just really editing, just nitpicky kind of a thing. But like, I'm starting to grow tiresome with these 90-minute episodes. I don't see why they need to be 90. At this point, I feel like we're getting a lot
of filler.
Yes, there's a lot of filler at this point. Like let's zip this sucker up like Survivor, okay? If Survivor can do it in 60, I don't see why the challenge can't at this point.
Yeah.
In the beginning, there were a lot of people.
Right.
So I like that we had the extra time. We don't need any more.
Even
Let's scale it back.
Again, like we said, a lot did happen, but it's not like there's so much drama at every turn that you have to like pack it. Like there was still a really long montage of people like saying hi to their families. Like there's a lot that like we just don't really need it.
We don't need it.
You know?
We don't need it.
And we didn't even get one of those like club nights in this episode, did we?
No.
I don't remember one.
Which I'm glad you bring that up too.
Yeah.
Because I am tired of these whack-ass COVID challenge parties. Like, they're not real. Like, I know what you're trying to do. Because it's so much of the challenge culture to go out for a night and actually go out into town, you know, where the challenge is taking place and have drinks and get crazy.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's not like an isolated thing.
No. Well, because of COVID, now we get these tents that just say, like, the challenge. And they're all just like, now we get these slow-mo, like, and it's like, oh no, I don't need this. This is not it.
Up until last week, when we saw Amanda talking to her kid. What was that? It was it Amanda that had like a video chat with her kid?
Yeah.
Up until we saw that, I thought that this was like an isolation type game where like you're cut off from society. You're just in this house. You do like your thing. I didn't realize that it was like.
It certainly used to be. This video chat thing is really in the past few years.
Well, even still,
unless they just never showed us.
But even still, if they're going out on the town, like they can just talk to people, you know? Like I didn't realize that it was that kind of a vibe. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. The challenge always was like a little bit more laid back in that sense. And there was always like great fights that would happen like in the van ride back. Yeah. We got a lot of good stuff like that. Yeah. Now we're just getting these tents out in the yard and miss me with it. It's not real. I'd rather you drink in the house, and get more Pizzagate and things like that.
I agree.
Yeah,
because I also feel like when they used to go out, you'd get other like drama. You know, like somebody, one person got so hammered that while everybody was leaving the bar, someone fell down the stairs, or how about
got into it with somebody else.
Yes, someone from outside the show got into a fight with somebody on the show. You know, like things like that. Now it's just like, all right, let's go walk into this bubble like 50 feet from the house. Like,
yes, and I'm hyper aware of it too.
Yeah.
I'm hyper aware of the way.
I just assumed that's the way it always was.
Oh,
like,
no,
I guess this is like the
even the
disadvantage
room
of
sounds.
me not knowing the show at all.
Oh no! Even just the room sounds, like the echoing of the voices and stuff. Oh boo! Yeah. Terrible. So that was that. That was all. Let's see here. Oh. I couldn't even read my own handwriting because I'm writing so fast. Yeah. Okay. So we saw that this challenge had a special cash boost from P3, this protein thing.
Yeah.
Everybody got an extra $3,000. All right. That's very exciting. I like when they do these things. I prefer when Burger King gets involved because I just feel like it's way off brand. They've done like before, like Burger King will do this one, and then like you get like a year's worth of free Burger King, and it's like, I don't know, for something that's, you know, focusing on the competing and like the athleticism of the game.
Do any of these people allow themselves to eat fast food anyway?
Like,
they also like
they go nuts.
They get so excited.
Yeah, they usually go nuts. They're like, oh my god.
I feel like even just like look at their social medias, I feel like they're also like health and wellness and diet shakes.
No, right, but no, they go nuts. They seem to be more excited about the Burger King than they were about the 3,000. I gotta say, that was like an underwhelming response.
Burger King.
Because I'd be excited, but like I'm also not challenged material. You know, so there was that. I had a note that I was disappointed with Ashley's performance in the challenge. All right, so I will say, so this challenge, I forget what it was called, but we had to
satellite sabotage.
Oh, okay, great. Satellite sabotage indeed. we had to move from each little rung of the satellite, right? As they were separating more and more and more. And we're doing this from a large height up above the water, while the other cells are shooting us with fire hoses, trying to knock us down. Okay, and then we had to do
thank you, please.
A very specific leap of faith, right? All right, to pull the plug out and deactivate the plug.
Foreshadowing.
It was foreshadowing, yes. So I was disappointed that Ashley didn't really give this one a go. She just kind of just fell into the water.
Yeah.
I get it. She doesn't really like this stuff, but come on. Yeah, you're my girl.
You're
my
a former
girl.
champ.
I know. We really need you to step up. Show up and show out for Gina. Okay? I want her to see why we call you the queen. Yeah, let me see
what you're made of.
Yeah, come on now. Come on now, Ashley. Who else is on that team? That was Sapphire.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's like Ashley, Amanda, Ed, CT, Nelson,
Kyle, Bettina.
Nelson.
Oh, yes.
Nelson, Bettina.
Yeah, Nelson. Oh, poor Nelson. All right. So that was that. I couldn't do this challenge. Absolutely disgusting. No way. I would have just jumped off too.
Not a chance. Not a chance.
Yeah, definitely would have left. How do you like Corey as team captain, this new role he's trying to assume?
Oh, I forgot. I was going to ask this boot camp Freddie set up.
Yeah, it's Corey's boot camp.
What is this?
This is really new. I've never really seen Corey as somebody who like really takes a challenge like that seriously. Yeah. He always says he wants to win and everything.
Dad. I'm like, what is happening?
Exactly. Yeah. All of a sudden he's taking this leadership role, and I think like I feel good about it. I think it's fun.
Yeah.
Like he just like kind of decided he was in charge, and everyone's just like, all right.
Well, and that's the thing. Everyone's accepting it.
I felt like it seems like when they were choosing their cells, like Corey and Nelson were two of the first people back, and they were like, let's choose different teams. And I feel like because Corey was the first one there, it almost felt like he was like, all right, let me try to build the best team I can. And then when the team was assembled, nobody was taking it seriously. Like Kyle, and you have, all these people just kind of like joking. Nobody wants to be on the Ruby team. People being like, oh, everybody from Ruby that wins elimination, they're going right to Emerald. Like kind of making a joke about this team that he was really the first member of. And like, I wonder if he's like taken that personally and been like, you know what? I want to try to actually turn this team into something now. Because he's been on the show for so long, like he needs something to boost his legacy here.
Yeah. And he also wasn't he the one that was like really pissy about someone wearing a different color to deliberation because
Kyle,
red with your team.
Kyle was very upset that Kyle did that. He was very upset.
And not only was Kyle not wearing red, but he was wearing green.
He was wearing green. Yeah, like that's like
at least wear a neutral color.
Yeah, like you were making it like very, very obvious.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like this was just a formation of it. And you guys didn't even know that you were really picking teams when you picked these things. So like, relax, Corey. Like you're taking it like way personal when somebody made a decision that they didn't even know they were making. And now they're making a joke out of that.
Yeah, who cares?
But I guess in the moment, I don't know. We don't know what it's like to be isolated. Let's see here. Oh, I said at least Emmy tried, and Big T. Those were notes.
Those were
notes. I don't even know what she said here that led to this. I just wrote, I agree that Emerald is cocky, but calm down, Amanda. Eat shit. Just relax. Yeah, she's just like a little crazy to me, but I enjoy her. I'm really happy.
She's had a lot to say this episode.
Yeah, I'm happy to see her back. Because this is always what she does. Like she's got a lot of great one-liners. She's got fun DRs. I'm happy to see Amanda back. One of the Lavender ladies. I think that name is coming back. That's an old Alliance name. It was like Ashley, Amanda, Shane. Remember Shane? Gay Shane?
Yeah.
And there was somebody else in this. For some reason I want to say Kayla. That may not be, but probably not. But yeah, the Lavender ladies.
I certainly like that better than whatever name they were using last week. What was it like Sinister Sisters or something, or I don't remember what it was. There was some other name they were using that was like
Satan.
Oh,
something,
yeah,
something
yeah.
like that. Yeah. No, I didn't like that. Satan's siblings, maybe, or something. Yeah, I didn't like that. Oh, my next note was the way Nani looks at Casey during the challenge. And I don't really stand this relationship.
And I was just gonna say, like, what
I know,
you
right?
complaining about those?
I know, I don't really, but I did think that was really nice. Like when Casey was like beasting on each of those rungs of that satellite,
She was
and
like,
the
"This
way
is
that,
why I love her."
yeah, the way Nani was looking at her, that was okay. That was sweet.
It was
It was
cute.
very sweet. Yeah, it
Very
was.
cute.
It was. So Emerald wins. Emerald wins this one. Okay.
A wild upset for Ruby.
Right. Because the rules clearly stated that you were supposed to take a leap of faith to deactivate the plug. And Kyle says, no, I am absolutely not going to do that. All right, I'm jumping on this rung and I'm going to pull it down nice and safe and throw myself in. To which everyone said, you cannot do that. And I really love when there's a big rule break like this and they allow them to celebrate.
Yeah.
Just to tear them down afterwards. Like we see this a lot.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not a lot, but we have seen it before, and it is a very good time.
But like literally everyone on the ground was like, "You can't do that! You can't do that!
Yeah.
No, you can't do that!" I was like, "Oh my god!"
And I like that they don't stop anything; they just allow it to happen.
Yeah.
They just allow it to keep going. Like I think it's great. So basically, Kyle loses this for Ruby, and we see Emerald win. Oh yeah, Corey keeps going on about how people are really proud, are really proud to finally be on Ruby.
Yeah, like
You
I'm
just
sure
started. Like
but
relax.
even like I was expecting when that challenge got lost that everybody was going to be like up in arms and coming at him, and deliberation was going to be like wild, like you broke the rules, you knew it was supposed. That was like the most chill, like love and light deliberation I've ever seen, and I was like, "What is?" This is the opposite of what I expected to happen. Like, how did you get here?
I just felt so bad for him. Like, he cost everyone on that team $3,000, including himself, who we found out he has a kid on the way.
I expected everyone to be pissy about it. You know?
Yeah, I'm sure they are pissed, but oh god, I honestly, I mean, I'm sure it's different if you're the one in the situation that like you just cost me this money, but I just felt so bad for him.
Oh, I felt terrible for him too, but I was like, they're gonna rip him apart in deliberation, and then everyone was so nice about it.
Yeah.
I think he should have been ripped apart. I don't feel bad for Kyle in this situation. He knew exactly what he was doing. He just didn't want to do it. And he just thought that he can just ignore the rules and it wasn't going to be a thing. And like, if this had been anybody else, Kyle would have been the line leader.
Yeah. You're right.
Yeah, you were beating yourself up over it, but you should, because you messed up.
Especially if it was Corey or something like that. You
oh my gosh, you'd never hear the end of it. You'd never hear the end of it. Yes.
No,
and
you're right.
This on the heels of what he did to Devin just a few episodes ago.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, right. I don't know.
All right, I choose to retract my statement.
No, you can keep your statement.
I did feel bad in the moment, but after conferring further with you, I have decided
with the people of the jury.
I no longer feel badly.
With the people of the jury.
Yeah,
no
longer
That's
feel badly.
That's just me.
For Kyle. So, okay. I'm sold.
So we get to say we're in deliberation here, and obviously the MO has been to vote in a rookie every chance possible. So the only two rookies left that are men were Ed and Logan. I mean, Logan has his damaged hamstring. Okay, so Ed steps up and says, hey, listen, I don't really want it to be me, but I see what's going on here. Let it be me. I don't want it to be Logan. It was good to me. Now, what do we think?
I've been really excited to get into this conversation.
What do we think? Not getting into how it ended, all right? Because obviously there's a clear answer to how we should think about this decision. But in this moment, what do we think about that?
I think it was very, very honorable to feel like he was, kind of having somebody's back who didn't put him in when they had the chance earlier in the game. But obviously very risky, and I don't think I would have done the same thing if I was in that situation, personally.
You don't think so?
I don't think I'd put my own game on the line like that. Personally, if I was in a game for $1 million. All
right.
So
I'm a little on the fence about it because as a person, like he has a lot of heart. He cares a lot about like the people around him. Even when he had to like pick and choose who was gonna be in the competition, he was like, I don't want to, like, I like these people. I don't want to like screw over somebody in this game. Like, and that's something very notable as a person. Like it's big and it shows his character. And I can appreciate that for what it is. But at the same time, when you think of it in a game sense, like this is a game where you kind of have to be cutthroat. So like, I love what it shows about his character, but I don't know, like, I don't know if someone like that is long for any kind of game like this. You know what I mean? Especially because I don't think that anybody else would have showed him that courtesy, regardless of what he did for them in the past.
Right. If
it came down to like, I help you at my expense or I do what I have to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't really land either way on it. I'm not sure how I feel.
I view this, and now I don't know if this could be way an overthought. This could be giving Ed too much credit. I like this decision in this moment, and I like it because I do believe that the challenge is a game played differently than Big Brother. That famous line, like this is chess, not checkers. I feel like the challenge is almost part of a long game. And I believe that Ed and Logan are people that we are going to see again, just for their athleticism and just the way that they're playing the game. They're playing the game nice, like they're good people, they're not causing any problems. We're going to see them again. This is laying the groundwork for working together like way in the future. Because flat out, this is Ed and Logan's game to lose. They've already lost. It doesn't matter what happens from now on. But we can make the argument that maybe if Ed had not done this and kind of pushed for Logan and Logan went in and Logan went home, Ed is not making it to the final. He wasn't going to anyway. Not with the way that this has already gone. There's too many alliances against him, like for him to make it that far. So maybe this kind of opens up the door to him having a game in the challenge, like going forward.
And to your credit, like as you're saying it, I do kind of just think of all of these games in the same vein as Big Brother, but you have said in the past that like the Big Brother players are like, oh, it's just a game, like I made a game move. But a lot of these challenge people will like hold grudges for seasons and seasons and seasons because like the personal stuff isn't just personal stuff. Like it's like a really big deal. So in that vein, it was, like I see exactly why you like that decision.
Yeah. He wasn't going to win anyway.
Yeah. So. No, it's definitely a great thought because it is so true. How many of these people that are on the show now that we watch, like that have such a long history and, it's totally true. I still don't know if I could make that decision though in the moment. Cause like, I just feel like you never know. Who knows? Maybe you
you never know.
Like maybe maybe you get injured after the season and now you can't compete moving forward, obviously but I would just be nervous. Like I'm in this game at this moment playing for $1 million. I'd have a hard time. Like, even if I felt like it was such a long shot for me to win personally, I just have I'd have a tough time sort of like feeling like I was just kind of giving it away. But I totally understand and agree with what you're saying. Like this is totally laying the groundwork for him for the future.
I mean, it could, and that could just be way too much. Nobody ever plays again. The hell with it, like whatever. But like, or what if now Logan ends up going on to win this thing? Right. Then you really kick yourself. Like who knows?
It sets him up great with Logan, but I feel like it sets him up with great with other people in the house too. Like they kind of
it does. Yeah. Like Gina even just said, but the whole point of this is like it shows that he would be somebody trustworthy to work with in the future. So like I would now believe that if Ed says he's got my back, I'm gonna believe him sooner than I would believe anyone else. And I also just realized, not correct, Emmanuel is the other rookie that's in there, but Emmanuel was not available. It was not available. That's all.
But that's, like, I also like I think a part of my reasoning too is because like we saw, I think it was Ashley, and like one of her things was like, dude, you're not even going to talk to this person like 2 weeks after this game. Like, why are you throwing your game on the line for this person? So I was watching it like, oh yeah, why would you do that? But thinking about it, like I forget that this is a game that people come back over and over and over and over again.
Because I mean, look at what happened with Ashley, and she made that one decision that I still support. Yeah, and she's still catching flack for it. And it Ed really is brand new.
Like you just said, set up Ed in a really good position where like people are going to want to be aligned with him. And if he says, you have my word, I got his word, you know?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, I know. I definitely agree with that thought process. I just know I would have a hard time. I don't know if I could do it.
And I'm sure he had a hard time with it too. And I'm sure he had an even harder time with it once, the agency voted him in. I was very excited. Little segue. So now Ed's in. We got what he asked for. Yeah. Whatever. I guess so. There's that. They had that little clip there that kind of made you think that Ed would not select Kyle, but he most certainly did.
He was having a really hard time with that too,
and I can understand why. That's a scary decision to make.
Yeah, that's really wild.
And honestly, for a game like that, I don't know that there was a good decision for Ed. I think that, unfortunately, that was his elimination to lose. But so it also would have been of Logan's.
Yeah.
Logan would have been screwed in that competition.
With a damaged hammy.
Right.
He would have had some troubles.
I feel like he might have put up a fight on like the first go round, but with a bum hamstring like that in a game where you're wrestling someone in the sand, like how can you really like go that long with something like that? That kind of an injury. Yeah. But I mean, Ed put up a fight. There was like that moment he was like trying to rip the bar away from Kyle, was literally lifting Kyle all the way off the ground.
Yes.
Like, Ed
I thought
is a
he was
strong
gonna
dude.
break his neck, dude. Like I was like, this, like Kyle is in trouble. And I was so excited to see that this was the competition because you were just explaining this one to me on I think our last episode when we were talking about like who's coming back for the next All-Stars or whatever, because that was like such a big competition.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh no, like this is rough. This is hard to watch. I can't imagine.
Wild.
This is a classic. This is a classic. Yeah.
Well, that and the hall brawl.
Yeah.
That you saw, but you just wait until it gets later on and you do it with men. Because I think we only saw a female hall brawl.
Yeah.
And not for nothing, but those are not even the scrappiest women to have done it.
Yeah.
Like you get different ladies in there. Okay. You really get a very, very different experience. Like I would love to see a hall brawl between like Nani and Ashley. I mean, I think that'd be a real knockdown, drag them out. Now that's a hall brawl. Okay?
What about like a Tori and Ashley, or like a Tori and Amanda or something, right? Like,
get Casey in there.
Casey too, yeah. Football player.
Yeah. See though, I don't know that Casey would be as exciting for me. Yes, as a football, that initial impact would be very enjoyable.
He's a wild physical competitor.
Yes, but I just there is a I don't want this to sound wrong, but I think what makes some of those female hall brawls so much fun is how like feminine they are, because they get nasty. And I feel like that's not Casey's demeanor. Just feel like she just wouldn't be.
You want to see them act out of character.
Yeah, I want to see scrappy. Nani and Ashley, like little jabs. I could see stuff like that. Like I don't think Casey would act. Casey would be like a little bit cooler about it. That's not fun. I want to see like some grit there.
I mean, she is the self-proclaimed calming energy of her team.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
That's what I mean. Yeah, I don't want that energy in a hall brawl. Yeah, I want to see some fire. And that's what you get from Miss Ashley and like, people like that. But no, pole wrestle is awesome.
Yeah.
I straight up thought he was going to break his neck. I was like, he was literally dropping him directly on his head. And I was like, someone's going to die here. Like, I don't like this.
So fun. It's so good. But then we saw Ed eliminated. So that's it. That's it for Ed.
I lost 2 people in 2 games that I like this week. Yeah. What a disaster.
Yes. What a rough week for Gina.
What a bad time to be me.
I honestly, I see Ed having a long career on this show, though. I think he's.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I like Ed.
I mean, he's really like kind of designed for this too, because even I remember on The Circle, he was constantly like he was like the jacked gym dude on The Circle. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, it doesn't surprise me that he ended up here.
Yeah, I think it's really cool. I definitely would like to see him back.
Yeah.
And that was not even the last exciting thing. Okay. So Kyle, now for winning the elimination, had the option of either staying with Ruby or switching to either Emerald or Sapphire, and then having to then move another gentleman over to Ruby. In doing so, he chooses to evict Nelson and move Nelson to Ruby and take his place over on Sapphire. So now Sapphire looks like
what? Like that.
No, he did. Nelson did not like that.
Yeah.
But see, this is the kind of shit that Kyle does, and like this is why I don't like feel bad when bad things happen to him, because like this is what he does. He does it. These are supposed to be his friends. Like, I don't know. You just don't need to blindside anyone. It is a game, but like just let them know. It's not going to go over well.
Yeah.
So just give him a heads up,
Because, Nelson was pissed, but he's not on your team because you swapped him out. But we saw CT is not happy about this either.
CT is not happy about it. And you could see, even when he was giving his whole speech and, making that joke about how his father always told him to follow CT and, whatever. Yeah. Like, the look on CT's face, even in that moment, was...
He's like, not this.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because CT comes up so much like this. And I feel like everybody wants CT on their side so badly that I feel like there are seasons where he has even maneuvered himself and played his own game in a way where he's setting himself up well to win. But because all these other people are always just well, I want to be with CT. I want to be with CT. It's his game probably gets derailed more than anybody else. You know what I mean? Because it's Kyle's coming in here screwing up my team. Yeah. It's funny. CT really is the best though. I just love him.
I really love him too, honestly. But yeah, that was it for my notes.
Well, we got some exciting stuff for next week, though. Was this the 500th episode is coming up, it looks like?
The 500th episode of the challenge.
There's been that many.
Yeah.
That's outrageous.
Really, really nice.
It's the best. What else do we see? We see Nelson and Kyle start to have it out.
Yeah.
Okay, over this switch.
Yeah. And then Emmy does not have a good night at club night, from what we could see.
Looks like Emmy's back to her old tricks.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's back to her old tricks. All right. I guess we were due for an Emmy meltdown, right? We haven't really seen much of her.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a minute. What team is she on? Is she on Emerald? I think she's on Emerald. No, she's not. She's Ruby. She's Ruby.
Yes.
Yeah. She was at the boot camp.
Yes, she was. She at least participated.
That actually was pretty funny because you see Corey being so serious, trying to rally everyone together, and Big T just being like, "What do I do?" And then Kyle being like, "Woo!"
Really, so stupid.
Yeah.
But all right. I mean, if you have nothing else,
that's all I got.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We had a lot of fun. Thanks again to Tommy for joining us for the first half. the Big Brother Over the Top. What do we have this week? Survivor at 9:15 on Wednesday. All right. That's it. Like, subscribe, share with a friend, and thanks for joining us.